So, hello and welcome back to yet another Sunday chit chat, chatty, talky. Me sitting here and just babbling at the camera because I didn't really film much of anything today. It was one of those days where I did stuff. I swear I did. I washed the dishes, I did laundry, I went for a walk, but it felt like I was moving through mud all day long. And I was going to do my recap video today, but I guess I'm going to do it tomorrow before it has to go up tomorrow night because I just have no ambition. I don't know what happened. Yeah, ever have one of those days like that where yesterday was great, went for a nice long walk, had a good meal. Today it was just like nope, nothing. And it's so weird because the weather hasn't really changed. I mean, it did warm up a little bit, which whatever. I was definitely dressed for the wrong weather because it was really chilly this morning. And so I was wearing long sleeves all day when I went out for my walk, and I deeply regretted that because by about mile number 2, I was ready for a tank top but didn't have one, so oh well. A little bit of extra sweat probably doesn't hurt me. But yeah, it was just one of those days. It was I think it would be called a lazy day. Except I didn't let myself be lazy, or at least not super lazy. Anyway, how are you guys all doing? I hope you're doing well. I thought that I would share, because when I was out walking today, I was thinking about Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, and I think I put my finger on maybe one of the big differences between old novels like that one, or novellas, or whatever you would consider it. It was a very short book, so I would go more with novella. But I think I put my finger on the biggest difference between a novella like that one and a more modern one, and think I think it's pacing. I really appreciated the descriptions in it. Like, I loved some of the language used. I loved the deep descriptions of like the London fog and the moon and everything. But the entire first half of the novel almost could be cut. And I'm kind of curious if they actually do cut all of that in the movie adaptations, because I've never seen a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde movie. Because it seems like it was 8 chapters. Well, we'll be generous. 5 chapters of almost unnecessary backstory. Like, I almost feel like the last 2 chapters are the entire book all by themselves. It was really weird. That being said, I did really enjoy it, and now I'm kind of curious as we get into other books written in that period if they have the same idea. Like, I know that and this is probably going to be blasphemous, but oh well. I never liked Hemingway because I think of that same pacing issue. And granted, I haven't read very much Hemingway. Maybe I would like him better if I gave him a different chance or another chance, but I think it's a pacing thing. I think, and it's funny because I like to think that I have a pretty good attention span. I say that knowing that when I'm going out for a walk talking to you guys while videoing, I'm the person who's like, squirrel. But I mean, I do like to think I have a pretty good attention span. I don't think I have a TikTok attention span. I know all of the videos that I really like and appreciate on YouTube tend to be around an hour, if not longer, but I don't know. It did feel like a pacing thing. We will see. We're gonna read the rest of the short stories in that old book, which I thought was really funny because they are attributed to Charles Dickens when I look at the splash page before them. And when I looked them up on Google, it turns out none of them belong to Charles Dickens. Two belong to a guy who I have already forgotten his name. Don't worry, before I actually read them, I will do a little author biography again. And the other one, according to the cursory search I did on Google, nobody knows who wrote it. But it got attributed to Charles Dickens, so okay. Go off, authors of the past, you know? Anyway, so that was my day. Actually, my day started kind of hilarious today. I was laying there, and all of a sudden, Parky started huffing. You know that huff that cats do when they see something? And I heard scrambling. Like I really thought for a second that he had brought a mouse into my bed and I was going to be deeply offended. And then I realized the scrambling was coming from the window over here. And I look up and there is a squirrel clinging to the window screen and just running around on my window screen. And I was deeply offended by that because that was not the way I wanted to wake up. And Parky immediately launched himself at the window. Thankfully, the window was closed because it was really chilly last night. So that was the way I woke up. And then I looked out the window, and it will probably be in a video later. I haven't checked the video, but I woke up and I looked out my window, the other one over that way, and I see two deer staring at me. So I yelled for my son to grab the camera and get video of the deer. I haven't checked how his video turned out. He's pretty good at doing video, so it probably turned out good. But I was like, okay, the animals are just a little bit on the crazy side this morning. And then when I went out for a walk, didn't see anything at all. And I was like, I'm so disappointed. After starting off with a squirrel in the window and deer in the yard, I was expecting crazy animal antics today. That's pretty much never what you get, but I was hoping for it. But yeah, like I said, went out for a walk. I found out that tonight is the last night that the campground that I have walked you guys through so many times. Tonight is its last night of being open for the season, so it's definitely coming autumn. It was funny because I stopped and I was talking to an older couple that was out walking and just letting them know where the nature trail was because they had never been here before and they were looking for places to walk. So I was like, there's a really nice, right around 2 mile nature trail that's a pretty easy walk. And we were talking, and they thought it was absolutely crazy that the campground was closing because it was still so warm and perfect camping weather. And I was like, yeah, but I think 2 years ago we had snow this time. So it's, they open and close the campgrounds based on seasonal averages, not based on each year or each month's weather. This has been a weird year though. Like I said in the video yesterday, it feels like the trees are very confused by our new weather patterns because every once in a while I'll see a tree that's got really good color and most of the rest of them are just either going brown or they still have green leaves. It's a little bit sad. I love autumn color. It's one of my favorite things. And it sort of had the germ of an idea in my head for a video based around fall color, but it's really hard to do that when the color isn't great yet. So fingers crossed that we get better autumn color this year. Anyway, that's about it. This is just one of those check-in videos. I'm probably going to bed early tonight. I say that knowing full well that I probably won't. I almost never do, but I have good intentions. Oh, and I don't know if you have, I've talked about them a lot, some YouTube friends of mine's, Smokey Steve and Mark, wonderful channel. If you like me, you'll probably like them even better because they're much funnier than I am. They're great, great people. Well, every year for like either the last 2 years or the last 3 years, I've done little cameo bits over on their channel as the news reporter for newsworthy crazy things that they do on their channel. And I think I recorded clips for them, and I think Mark said that they will be up in a video either already or maybe tonight if they didn't put it up already, but they are working on a video that will have me in it. So yay! I love Steve and Mark. Mark does a lot of crafting. Steve does a lot of talking about mental health, but also he does the funniest series called Steve Will Try It, where he gets infomercial products or those as seen by TV things, and he actually tries them out and gives a little review on them. And usually the best part of that is they always do their own like infomercial, and those are always hilarious. So I will drop a link to their channel in my description if you're interested. They're just a small YouTube channel, but it's just a very homey feeling place, and I like them a lot. Anyway, that's about all I can think of. Thank you for indulging in listening to me, and I will see you later on.